is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I'm at the yard. Philip is out. He's emptied a couple dumpsters this morning. Waiting for him to get back. Chris should be here in about 20 minutes, and they'll take off to start their day on their appointments. Right now I'm emptying the dump truck. We didn't completely fill it up yesterday, so I figured it would be a we didn't completely fill it up yesterday, so we have a dumpster that's partially full and another dumpster that's partially full, so we're just emptying out some of the stuff so we can leave with an almost empty truck, so we're ready for whatever the day throws at us, especially since most of our jobs come last minute. After that, I have a few dumpsters to run. Falling a little behind on the admin work. I really need to we really need to hire somebody else, but if I'm being real honest, I'm really afraid of February. I don't like February. February February last year was absolutely horrible. We were short about 20 grand last February, and that hurt. That hurt a lot. So yeah, so I need to hire someone else, but I am kind of just holding on, waiting to see how February goes, and we'll go from there. So let me get this thing unloaded. So the last couple of days have been a little hectic. If you've seen the video, I'm not sure where all the edits kind of line up with themselves, but if you've seen the video with yesterday, giving the quote, locking my key in the van, breaking into my own van, yeah, I'm sure it looked a little crazy, but I believe in making things happen. And in that scenario, dead phone, AAA guy wouldn't help me out with charging my phone. Told me my only option was to call a locksmith, and I had no phone to call a locksmith, and he says, oh, sorry, there's nothing I could do about it. Dispatch said I have to move on to my next appointment. So there was just some guys there, borrowed a couple of their little hand tools, and just made it happen. And if I didn't have to get somewhere to help my team out, I probably would have found a different way around it. But the windshield itself, it needed to be replaced anyways. It had a big crack in it, so figured it needs to be replaced anyways. Might as well just speed that process up. Fun story. I'm staring at a new company that seems to have just opened up with a Texas Pride roll-off trailer system, and they're basically across the road from our yard and where we park. But nice, beautiful bins, standard rail, which if you're gonna go a trailer system, go standard rails. Do not go any of these non-standard rails. You're gonna put yourself in a bad position if you plan on growing. We're at the position where we have so many dumpsters for the Max D system that making the change, you know, we're gonna spend 200 grand to buy a truck and the same amount of dumpsters to make the same money we're making now. I personally have a hard time spending that much money to not bring in more of an income. And yes, I understand we'll be more efficient. I understand it'll look better. I understand everything, but 200 grand is still 200 grand. It's actually probably closer to 250. That's a lot of money to not make more money. So we'll see what we end up doing. Eventually, yes, we have to make the change. Thankfully, everyone that we've ever hired to run dumpsters, none of them actually really had an idea on trailers, but I've spent a day with each one of them teaching them. Really, the main thing I taught everybody was how to drop and how to pick up. Mainly how to pick up. If you can figure out how to pick up one of these dumpsters at different angles for 8 hours in a day, you pretty much gotten 99% of what you need down. Everything else is pretty straightforward, but anyways. Okay, so The day today has been a little crazy. We started, Philip started with dumping some dumpsters. I think I have some footage of that. I went over to go pick up a dumpster for one of our lenders that we do a lot of work with, but he does a lot of flips, and so picked up a dumpster from his property in Hemet. From there, I shot over to another job we had, which was just a small pickup in a customer's driveway, so I was able to get that load in there. I was only maybe 10 minutes from the landfill, and my wife called and said, hey, we got the date wrong for Hannah. Hannah's one of our second oldest. She had an assembly today where she was getting her gold presidential honor roll or gold honor roll certificate. So I shot 45 minutes over to the school, got there just in the nick of time to see her get called, got a picture, jumped back in the truck and drove all the way back to the landfill. Dumped the load, went and did another quick job by myself, went to the yard, threw that into that same dumpster from this morning, and now I'm going to pick up my son from school, my second youngest. We have 6 total. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. And then I'm gonna take him with me and we're gonna go do a swap. This is a swap we've been doing for a little bit. Basically, we swap them once a week. It's a burned property that burned down, and we're just helping them get rid of the debris. But it's on the outskirts of our service area. So from our yard, it's about a 45-minute drive, but it's up in the hills. Super complicated drop off. I'll try to get some footage of that. We got to basically back up this big old hill, and it's windy. It's a pain. So anyways, we'll get it taken care of, and then after that, those dumpsters are heavy with the burnt material. So ideally I would just leave that dumpster on the trailer, and I'll have Philip dump it early in the morning, so I'm not worrying about dropping that again and then picking it up again. There's a couple other dumpsters I'd like to empty out, but this client needs this dumpster because we have some rain coming. We have a massive amount of rain. Rain here in Southern California is probably what I would equate to a blizzard anywhere else in the country. Rain makes people stop everything they're doing. Our phones go silent. So I think we have at least a week straight of rain, or maybe even a little bit more. So I'm really hoping that that's not the case and the forecast changes. But as of right now, Thursday's like at a 99% chance of rain. And from there, we're just rolling through, I think, all the way till the following Sunday. Maybe one break in there. So as a small business owner, that is extremely stressful. As we enter into February, even more so stressful. I talked a little bit this morning about how February was last year. I don't expect this February to be like last February, but last February definitely rocked me. I made some horrible business decisions last February that ended up trickling down. Well, I guess I made the decisions in March after we had that month. But I made decisions on our marketing and what we were doing and what we were going to stop doing. And those decisions drastically affected us the entire year. I was just in a fog, I guess. I don't know. I made a decision and I was just sticking with it. So thankfully I got together at the beginning of December with some amazing other junk removal business owners. Went to a mastermind, and preparing for that mastermind, I was really able to dive into my numbers and see where I made mistakes, what decisions I made, and how they affected us for the rest of the year. So I fixed a lot of those decisions at the beginning of December. End of December into January, we've seen the fruit of that change. So I'm expecting February to be a much better February compared to last year, but only time will tell. We'll see. March, this would actually probably be a good video. March will be 1 year that we've been SEO free. So we let go of our marketing company last year, and we haven't run SEO for a year, but ranking wise, I'm pretty happy where we're at. We actually have improved, which I didn't think would happen, but we've improved. Part of that probably has to do with me dabbling a little bit in it and really figuring out how to learn what this whole digital marketing world is all about. But I think I'll make a whole separate video on that, and you know, firing an SEO company. Well, I didn't fire them. It's a great company, actually. Love the owners, love what they do. Just in that time, it wasn't working for us. Alright, so I forgot I actually have to head down to Orange County to get a dumpster we delivered Sunday night. But this is that dumpster that came from the burn property. Obviously lots of green waste, but beneath is all the burnt material. It's heavy. I didn't think it was as heavy until I started driving through those hills, but I thought this was pretty interesting. The beers that made it through the fire. Some Guinness, a little Sierra Nevada, Red Star. Anyways, just thought it was interesting. Just covered in soot. It's a taster pack. Anyways, so however, we have a ton of rain coming in, or scheduled to come in on Thursday. So tomorrow is always a pretty busy day for us with all the networking that we do on Thursday or on Wednesdays. But not only that, I just remembered we have some headshots scheduled for the guys. So after the networking and the headshots, I'm gonna have to work on emptying out at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bins, so those don't get all waterlogged. But that'll be pretty difficult. Our landfills are not close. We're about 45 minutes away from the landfill. So we do have a transfer station maybe 30 minutes away, but every single one of these dumpsters is heavy, so it would be more beneficial to take these to the landfill. So we'll see. This is our low boy, 5-yard low boy. It's got mixed with dirt and concrete. The street here is super tight, so I can't find the magnet to hook up the GoPro, but this should be fun. All right, so it is Wednesday. Wednesday's the day we do a lot of networking. Networking is done. From there, I had some headshots scheduled for the team to get some pictures taken. So we went over to Sebaz, so Sebastian, his home studio, got some new headshots done for the guys. I'm sure by this point, you'll see them here on the video. But we have rain coming in, and lots of rain. So I want to say the next 8 or 9 days are expected to pour. That's not good for us here in Southern California. Rain brings business to a halt, a massive halt. So what I'm doing today is I'm emptying out as many of our dumpsters as we possibly can. We have a few clients that have dumpsters out now that have called and asked to get them picked up before the rain comes. I'm gonna try, but it's there's a lot that's out right now. So my first priority is to get everything at the yard emptied out. From there, pick up everything that's scheduled to pick up, get that emptied out, and then work on the list of clients that want us to pick them up early. So downside is landfill is about 45 minutes away, and every dumpster we've dumped today has been pretty heavy. So if I feel like it's gonna be a ton or under, I'll just take it to the transfer station. It's 85 bucks a ton, but it's a little bit closer. Landfill's about 50 bucks a ton. So not a huge savings, but it does make a difference. So it adds up at least at the end of the day. But on a day like today, where I need to get as much done as possible, hitting the transfer station as much as I can would definitely be beneficial. Right now I'm heading back to the landfill. We've gotten 3 emptied out so far today. I think I only have 1 more left at the yard that I would like to get emptied out, and then work on customers that have dumpsters scheduled for today, and then we'll go from there. So our networking meeting was good though. This morning we had Nancy Rose Hernandez, who is an employment law attorney at the group, and she was just sharing with us a lot of the new laws that are coming into play. And a lot of you don't live in California, and a lot of these laws are just not applicable. But here in California, we have to pay very close attention, because we can get in trouble very quickly with some very minor stuff. So it's always nice to hear from a professional in the industry who knows what she's doing, to just help make sure that our guys are taken care of and make sure that we're following the laws. And at the end of the day, all these laws are put in place to make sure that we're actually taking care of our employees. Do I like California? No. Do I believe California is out for the small business owner? Definitely. But if you really sit back and look at all the employment laws, they're there to make sure your team is actually being taken care of. They're there to make sure they're getting a fair wage. They're there to make sure they're not being taken advantage of. And so making sure we're compliant has always been a priority. So my team is a priority. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to sit around and be hiring people left and right. I don't have time to be doing all these interviews. We've been blessed. Our average time frame that someone's worked for us is about 2 years. So, I mean, I'm extremely happy with that. So, I just left the landfill, and I was really confused. I mean, this dumpster felt heavy, but my total came out to 211 at basically 4 1/4 tons. And so I was like, I guess it made sense. And then I dumped and I looked, and I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. I went back and looked at the receipt, and they had my weigh-in weight incorrect. So they had me at 4.70, and it should have been 4 I don't know, I gotta look at the door. 4 point something. 4.74. So I think the numbers just got mixed up there. So I need to turn back around so I can get that fixed. On a day like today where we're tight on time, this is definitely a killer. I also have to get out to the post office to mail out some W-2s. So at this point, I'm not gonna get everything done, but is what it is. All right, that was surprisingly much easier than I anticipated. Our landfill's awesome, man. We have about 3 landfills. They are all about equal distance, about 45 minutes away. However, this one here, Lambs Canyon in Beaumont, they have an amazing team. In and out quick. First time this has actually ever happened. I was on the phone, now that I think about it, as I walked up to the window, so I probably messed up. But they got me taken care of, voided the original, got a new one. So we went from 211 down to 73. So yeah, much better.